one of the things we will have to appreciate from the Democratic Alliance is how many leaders they have given a platform for us to be exposed to. Black people can complain all they want about the DA and call you guys racist and you're a white supremacist party and you work for the US, whatever black people will say, which I'm sure you read on social media. But if you look at the names that I'm going to read out now, I can't think of another political party that would have given these people, including yourself, a platform. And you can judge it however you want, but it's something special. And I have to commend the DA. I don't know if Ukoko Helen Zilla is the only person and other people involved, but shout out to them. That's the compliment.
Yeah.
So Lindiwe Mazibuko left. She was the first. Then Musi Maimane left. He's now leading BOSA, Build One South Africa. Then Herman Mashaba left. He's running Action SA. Then Bongani Baloyi left. He's running Sheluba. Phumzile van Dam has left as well, the DA. You speak fondly about listening to Tony Leon and seeing gaps. Look, the people won't understand you. I think I can add value. And you're here today. What are your thoughts on all the black people that have left the Democratic Alliance? Some of them almost alluding to a
racial
undertones of, not really inclusive for an African man. And the idea that even Tony Leon has gone on to call Musi Maimane a failed experiment, which is quite in bad taste upon reflection.
Yeah.
What do you think of this? And do you ever worry about yourself being an experiment of sorts to garner black votes at Atteridgeville, Mamelodi, Mabopane, Hammanskraal on behalf of the DA? And once they're done with you, you'll start feeling the heat. And a year or two from now, I'll be sitting with you when you've started the Pretoria or the Tshwane political party. I'm like, but sorry, but we were here last year, Baba.
No. I think I'll say this for the first time on a media platform. Sure. I think after the DA, if I ever should I leave the DA for whatever reason, that will be it for me in politics. And I don't take that very lightly. I have always enjoyed a very close relationship with the people, almost all of them that you've mentioned. And I've known most of them personally. Different stories why they left. Some good, some bad. And, what you find is that sometimes what people say in the media is not the real reasons why they leave. And, sometimes as the DA, we've taken a decision that, we're not going to then go on a ping pong on on why people leave. Like in any organization, you'll find differing opinions, and that goes across. And you argue your point. I'm sitting here, I came here with one of the youngest person who's going to be a member of parliament, 23 years old.
Oh, snap. Shout out to Liam. Have to mention his name. Shout out to Liam.
He's going to be the
He also didn't bring us KFC. Just please put a note there.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
But the point I'm making is that opportunities will be made, whether you're black, white, Indian, or colored in the DA. You apply yourself, opportunities will be made. He's not only the youngest person to go to parliament, but he's also one of the youngest people to sit on a federal leadership structure. He will tell you of the arguments that we have there. He will tell you of how robust we will take each other on, and we will then disagree and agree on certain points. And even when we disagree, sometimes we find the middle ground. Where I find it very interesting is that people who have sat on some of these platforms, even before I did, never raised any of the things that when they leave, when they are on the outside, start raising and say, but the party is this. But you've been in the party for 20 years. And all of a sudden the party is racist. When you're offered something else somewhere else, when you lose a race against an internal, candidate, or, internally when you lose a race, when there is when there's a disciplinary action that is instituted against you for some of the things that you did, and then all of a sudden the party is racist. When you are about to face a motion of no confidence in you as a leader of a particular caucus, you then leave and say the party is racist. So I don't want to mention names because, I don't want to look like, I'm going after certain people. Sure. I don't. That is not what I want to do.
And the last thing we'd want is for you, specifically as a black
to
person,
then start saying this one left because of
to
this.
go and fight other black leaders almost with Ongam at the back. That's not a platform I'd want
that's not what I do.
Sure.
And I've always said, look, when people leave, I mean, it's a political parties are all voluntary organizations at the end of the day. People come in and people go. Voluntarily most of the time.
They're supposed to. I know Dr. Paul Palatse, ex-mayor of Johannesburg, I think has gone back into practice.
No, but she's still a member of the DA.
She's still a member of the DA. Boy Mama Bolo, I think, in the ANC are like, I can't leave Parliament, Baba. I need this salary. So we don't know how much voluntarily leaving or staying.
No, but what I'm saying is that people will come and go for different reasons.
Correct.
And at some point you find that I am facing internal contestation, or I would have dug my own grave. I mean, there's somebody who would advise and say, "Daughter, you are digging your own grave. You cannot ask your predecessor to come and assess what you're doing as a leader. What you end up doing is that this person is going to judge you based on what they wanted to achieve, not what you want to then achieve. And then when the report comes saying exactly what we want you of, then you then say, hey, Nina Bantaba Mnyama, come and beg me. While we were telling you from the get-go to say, you are a leader, you were carving your own way, stand by what you were doing. That's where the problem is. But I say that, I respect, there are certain people that have left and really had broken my heart when they left, because I could see that, there were certain things that they were raising, not necessarily even racial issues, but how they were treated as a person, because of the caucus that they were operating in or the support that they were expecting from certain colleagues, and they were not getting it. And then they end up saying, I can't do this. And then they left. And there are people who had left because they wanted certain things, and because you didn't want them, you didn't get them as a person, and then you go out there. But when you go out making noise. There are certain people who were promised positions somewhere else, and then they go bad-mouthing the party on their way out to their next platform. So, there's all sorts of, dynamics and reasons why people do what they're doing. And it will always happen that way in unfortunately in an organization like the DA, unlike what you would have in the EFF, where people are being called placeholders, and then Julius can let go of MPs, can let go of of councillors, and I'm not making that as a standard. I mean, that Msimanga, he will kick me once now that I've forgotten his name. But anyway, Obaba Msimango left the ANC, wrote a scathing letter when leaving the ANC about how it has moved away from what he believed in. And so did a number of people. But when it comes to the DA having members leaving it, it then becomes a big issue. Athol Trollip left the DA. Michael Shackleton left the DA. These are white, ex-members who were leaving. That never really made the news.
Sorry, Mavuso Msimang.
Mavuso Msimang. Hey, Nyakolisa Baba, if you are going to watch this, he's going to...
No, we've corrected it. We've corrected it.
And some of them leave and then they come back. We've had people who have left and went and joined the PA and then came back and said, hey, we were promised heaven and earth on the other side. People actually said, no, I was in a bad financial situation. I was offered something. I walked across. Because I was promised that I was going to be sorted out financially. I'm sure you would have listened to even, the video recording of the man in the green talking about he can make money available.
Was there a video? I heard an audio.
There's an
audio. This was Gaten McKenna. I think he was speaking in Afrikaans, offering something in the audio.
And that has happened. And we have people that have come back and said, look, I'm sorry. It's unfortunate that sometimes when people leave by tinting the name of the party. But as I said, for me, The day I believe that the DA, or I feel that the DA has moved away from what I believe in and allowing me the space to debate and allow me the space to then say, I'm not happy about this and that and this and that
Sure.
and that, is the day that I'm done with politics. Because it's the day I feel that my contribution and a platform that I thought I could use to bring change to South Africa is no longer the platform that will represent me. Sure. That's when I'll leave.